Alright, hello. Hey everyone, what's going on? Nicodemus Kane here, back for some chats, back for some talking. If you don't know what this is, I've been coming on here about every week or so, talking about stuff that I've learned. I've gone on this very deep spiritual journey, for the past several years, just trying to figure out, what in the world is going on in life, why this world is the way it is, the veil that has been lifted off of my eyes, that I can see the truth in everything. Just trying to figure it out. And I come on here and we talk and, you know, basically have a chat, trying to figure out what's going on. And some days I have, a fair amount of stuff to talk about. I tend to do a lot of research on things, and I tend to, make notes so that I can come in here and we could talk and have a chat and all that. But it seems like the past couple weeks, it's been me just coming in here, just kind of just throwing stuff down, because I've with this with this job that I'm at there that I'm at now, with this work that I'm doing, I don't have the time or the, what do you want to call it? Not resources so much as just ability to do the research that I used to be able to do, to have the notes in front of me that I could scribble stuff down, and have things to talk about. I just don't have that. And there's been a lot of things over the past week that have just popped up so much that I've really wanted to talk about. And it's like I said, I don't have that time anymore. I don't have that ability anymore. So coming into this, there were several big things. The massive push for censorship that is happening right now. This 1984-esque push for censorship that is happening. If you speak out on anything that the whatever the powers that should not be, if you speak out on what they don't want you to say, they will straight cut you off, shut you down. That's just never in my wildest dreams did I think that we would get to this point. I always understood 1984. I always understood what a dystopia was. I always understood that you could be shut off and cut off at any time for any reason whatsoever. I always understood that. But I never in a million years thought that it would happen. Not like this. And it's over just the craziest stuff too. If you have so many people that are all saying the same thing about one thing, wouldn't you think that that would cause you to at least look at it? I mean, it can't just be a collective insanity. Doesn't that make sense? It can't be a collective insanity. It's not like Joe Schmo that's living over in, I don't know, let's just say Chicago, is thinking the same exact thing that Bob Butkus over here in Kansas City is thinking, and they don't have reasons why they're thinking this way. It can't be just that. It can't be just because, oh, the internet told me that's a thing and that I absolutely believe it. No, there's got to be something more to it. There used to be a time. There used to be a time in this country where we used to take witness testimony. We would listen to people. If somebody said, hey, there's something going on here, maybe you ought to look into this. We used to believe that person. We used to believe witness testimony. Period. if a disaster happened, the first place that we would go to is the man on the streets. Um, that's just not reality anymore. Now, reality is that whoever's in charge tells us what we need to know. And that's a problem. That's a problem. And it's gotten to the point to where they don't just tell us what we need to know. They tell us what's good for us to know and what's not good for us to know. And they tell us that if we talk about the things that we're not supposed to talk about, then they will silence us. You will be silenced. Now, you want to talk about, I don't know, what words are going to trip the algorithm? That's just, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't really matter. If I want to talk about 9/11, I should be able to talk about 9/11. If I want to talk about vaccines, I should be able to talk about vaccines. I mean, seriously, this is just, it's gotten ludicrous. It's gotten absolutely ludicrous. We should be able to talk about whatever we want to. I'm not saying that everything in the world is an absolute conspiracy. I believe that. But I'm not telling you that. The reason that I started this channel was for me to get the stuff out of my head and to ask other people the question. And honestly, I haven't gotten answers. I've gotten some people that have agreed with me. I've gotten a couple of people that have come on and said, you're absolutely right on what you say. That doesn't sound out of the question. Somebody actually gave me a web link to a very long document that I have not read through the entirety of. I skipped through it. It was one of those, rewritten history things. I have not gone through all the way through it yet. Whoever sent that to me, I've had one person that basically, I don't know if they were calling me out specifically or they were calling out just people in general that talk about flat Earth to get your algorithms ready. Where they were saying that anybody that talks about flat Earth is just doing it for money. They're just doing it for YouTube views, or just doing it for Instagram views, or just doing it for just money. So, okay, fine. That's what you want to think. That's what you want to think. That's great. We should be able to talk about this, though. I mean, there's a problem going on here. There's something going on here that a fair amount of people see, that we should be able to stop and say, wait a minute, we should actually talk about this. I am not on here bashing anybody. I really am not. I don't think I've been on here bashing anybody at all, so I don't think I should have to worry about it. I'm asking questions, and a lot of these questions seem relatively sane. I don't know. I could be going crazy. I could literally be going crazy. It just it boggles my mind, censorship. And I don't even know if my videos are being censored or not, because they've changed the channel. It's actually interesting. The YouTube has changed their channel, or the way that we observe the channel. It used to have a lot of really good information on like the left side of the screen that you could click on one of those things and it would take you to another part of the page that would show you what it is. Like, for example, the old YouTube used to have a direct link for copyright strikes or copyright claims, whatever you want to call them. And you used to be able to go there, and it used to have a list of all the videos that you would have a claim on, and you could actually look at them one on one. That's gone. I cannot find that anymore. I don't know where that is, because I still have copyright claims on some of my videos. Some of my old Let's Plays that I have still have copyright claims on them. But I don't know where to go to find out if I have any more or not. I don't know where to go to find out if any of my videos have been tagged for speech, the wrong think. There you go. That's the best way to describe it. Wrong think. That's all there is to it. It's just wrong think. but I've been hearing a lot about it, and I've been hearing this. I've been hearing it being pushed harder and harder and harder. I've been seeing the YouTube playback, especially on my phone at work. The suggested videos are starting to take a very serious mainstream media slant that I do not like. You can watch one video and then they will pop you with a Fox News, or they will pop you with a CBS, or they will pop you with an ABC, or they will pop you with a some documentary something, and it's like, I don't want to watch that stuff. I don't care about that stuff. I want to watch the stuff that I want to watch. And they have me on this kind of repetitive loop. The suggested videos, they have it on a repetitive loop. The biggest example I can say of that is I can start out with something from, let's just say, I don't want to say that. How about like High Impact Flicks? He's one of the guys on here. He speaks a lot of truth. I like to listen to him. You can start out with a video from him, and then it will send you to either another video of him, or it'll send you off to a mainstream media source. If it sends you to a video of him, it might be like another one that he did just recently. After you get done with that one, it will send you off to one you've already seen. At least for me, that's the way it's been. It will send you off to a video of his that I've already seen. If I skip that video, it will pop off to another channel to a video that I know I've already seen 4 or 5 times. Sometimes it'll pop me off to a video that I stopped midway through once I realize that I've seen it. And I'm like, okay, whatever, we'll try another one. So I'll go to somebody else. Let's just say Call for an Uprising. That's another guy I listen to a lot. Now on his, it'll be one video of his, and then it'll be another video of his, and then it'll be something that I've already seen. And it's a loop. It just keeps looping it back and back and back. It's something I've already seen, and sometimes it'll start it from the front, sometimes it'll start it from the point where I stopped, and it just keeps doing that. And then if I let it go off into something else, it'll pop me off to another channel that has massive tons of views, but they've been videos I've already seen. And it does that, and it's been doing that. It's a very, very strange suggestion algorithm. It used to be that it would kind of go down your subscription list. It would stay in the same vein of videos you were watching, but it would show newer videos, and it would slowly go down there, and it would go through the list, and it was pretty cool. But now it seems to want to force you into this feedback loop. And I actually let it go one time. Because it got onto a video that I just wanted to listen to anyways. And I listened to it, and the next video down from that was just another one I'd already seen. And I let that happen a couple times, and sure enough, once it gets on that repeating pattern, it's like a playlist that they have. They just keep you on this repeating pattern over and over again. While constantly forcing mainstream media into your system, while constantly pushing this narrative that I don't want, pushing it onto me. I'm like, I don't want this, guys. You have to stop pushing that on me. And it's just become, that's the way it's become. And I've noticed it, and it's just getting worse and worse as it goes. And it's just it's very, very strange. And I'm just not seeing the stuff I want to see. It keeps me within this loop of videos that they want me to see, and I have to actually go and hunt down videos I want to see. Now, what's interesting though is my block user list has grown exponentially. Every time I get onto one of these channels I don't want to see, I'll just block it. NASA I've blocked, CBS, NBC, ABC, CNN. There's a couple CNNs, BBC. I just block them. I don't want to see them. Which is interesting though, because if you block the channel, they will still put a video from that channel up on you if you let it go. It's the I wish I would have been able to record it because it was hold on a second. I think it wasn't a BBC America, it was a BBC something. And I had gotten on to it and I said I don't want to watch this. So I blocked the user. I blocked the channel. And it was within a day. I think it was probably the next day that I had gotten pushed back into that channel, and I even went to the channel to check the block, and sure enough, it said block user. And I said, "You got to be kidding me! If you block the user, you're not supposed to see videos from this user." So there's a manipulation there. It's this manipulation. It's just getting worse and worse. And I don't know. I don't know if Facebook's really doing it to me yet or not, because I have been just dropping truth on Facebook constantly. I'm to the point where I don't care. I'm gonna have to start saying what I need to say because people just are not listening, and it seems like everything is just ramping up faster and faster. It's the one thing I hear from a lot of truthers is that it's getting faster. It's just things are just being thrown at us more and more faster and faster. It's like it's coming. It's a freight train coming down the tunnel, and it's just we can't get out of the way of it, and we can't push people out of the way of it because they're just not listening. And we don't know if it's because they're not listening or if it's because they just can't hear us. If they can't hear us, that's a problem. Just that bugs me more than anything else. I never in a million years thought we would get to this point where no matter how hard you screamed into a person's ears, they would not listen. It just blows my mind. It just absolutely blows my mind. And the reason I even thought about starting this, about talking about this tonight, I should say, it's 11:35. 11:35. It's June 14th in 1984. Um, but I saw somebody that's a friend of mine, not a very good friend of mine. He's a musician friend from years back. Had posted something about the Challenger explosion, gave the date, gave where he was, gave talking about it. Went on. It was pretty lengthy. He was being very descriptive about where he was, what he was doing, how he felt because he knew there was a teacher there, and I may have already told my story about it. We It was a big thing for us because it was a teacher. That was my mother's a teacher, so it became a big thing for us to be able to see it. First teacher in space, first civilian in space. Oh, it's going to be a big thing, and we were all yanked out of the school because that's what you did. Whenever shuttle went up, we all got to go outside and watch the shuttle because where you could see it, where we lived in Florida, you could look north. You could look north. Let's just pretend this is north because I don't know. I think that's north, and I think this is west. This should be west. That should be north. We were told to look. We just look north, and if you look above the tree line, you'd give it a little bit of time, but eventually you would see shuttle going up. You'd go here. I'll let you guys see it from here. You'd see the shuttle going up, and of course, we always saw the shuttle go up and make that nice big curve. And then of course it would get up to this point. It would get up to this point. It would get up to the flat points, and then it would disappear. They'd stop shooting the boosters or whatever, and then you might see a small trickle after that. never went straight up. It never went straight up, and it never made this nice arc up. It always made this kind of curve. So, anyways, we could see it. We could see it go up. So we sat there and watched it. And when you see enough of them, we were in third grade. I want to say Mrs. Shaw's class, third grade. We were outside. It was me and my buddy Danny, and I think it was one of the guys I was hanging out with. His name was Marcos. Um, who else was there? My memory's shot. I don't remember who else was there. But we were watching it, and it went up, and it looked like a poof. You could see it. I mean, we were where Cape Canaveral is, and where we were. It was not that far away. I was what, maybe 200 miles, give or take. I'll even do this for you. I'll Google it for you. But yeah, we sat there and watched it, and 170 miles. Actually, I don't even think it's 170 miles. It's how would it be as the crow flies? Is there a thing on here as the crow flies? It would take 2 days to walk her. That's nice. It says 156. See, it's not that much. I mean, it's maybe 100. There's no way. I don't know why in the hell this would even. How do I look at it as the crow flies? Doesn't doesn't make any sense. At any rate, let's just say it's 100 miles from there to there. It just is what it is. So we weren't that far away from Cape Canaveral from seeing it go off and do its thing. So you could see it, from where we were, from the school that we were at. You could see it go up. But I remember it did this fizzle out thing in the air. That's what it did. It did this fizzle out. It didn't blow up. I mean, it looks like it blows up, sure, but have you seen shuttles blow up on the platform? Have you seen the old pictures of the shuttles that blow up on the platform? The Challenger didn't blow up; it poofed. It did. A blow up of a space shuttle looks completely different. I mean, it's just a gigantic fireball. This wasn't a fireball. This was a poof. It was like a poof of smoke, and then just smoke went everywhere. It wasn't just a gigantic. I mean, that's a ton of gas. You got to think of how much gas would have been inside of this damn thing for it to explode. I've seen videos of the rockets that are exploding on the launch pad where the damn fireball looks like it could have taken out a small city. I'm not kidding. You just and that's something I only noticed within the past couple months. Somebody pointed that out on a video in the past couple months and said, "Take a look at the explosion," and I'm like, why didn't I ever think about that before? So, but it poofed, and when it poofed, we were all just kind of like, what was that? That was a really weird booster, separation, because you can see the booster separation when it happens. When the damn thing goes up, you can see the boosters pop off, and it's actually a cool thing when you can see it from there, but it was a really weird poof. And then I remember being herded back into class from the teachers. Teachers were herding us back into class. Okay, kids, come on, let's get back into class. And we were like, but. And they were like, no, 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 come on, let's go, let's go. And I remember getting home, and I remember when my mom got home, she just sat on the couch and cried. And I didn't really put it together. I was too young to understand, really what it meant for her. That, it was that big of a deal for her. So it didn't really completely sink into me, didn't really crush into me. And I didn't, you know, I never really thought about it. It's just a story that I tell everybody is like, I was there, I saw it. I happened to see it explode. And it was what it was. And now I can say I happen to see it poof. It was what it was. I mean, I'm fixing my beard as I do this. I mean, all right. So, anyways, but this guy was going on about how he felt and what it was like where he was at the time and all that stuff and I just wanted to wake him up. I really did, but I didn't know how to. I mean, you can't just brute force these things. I have a picture of the Challenger crew, and the pictures that other people have found of people that have the same exact name that just happen to look exactly like them that work for universities or companies or whatever. I have that picture that somebody made that I downloaded on the phone just to make sure I have, because it's always a good thing to have. And I always thought it was strange. I'm not going to say that that is what it is. I'm not going to say that it was faked. I'm not going to say that it was. I'm not going to say that it's faked. I'm definitely not going to say that it was real. I'm just going to say that I think it's bizarre that there are people that are out there that have the same exact name, that have the same exact face as people that supposedly died on a space shuttle 20 something, 30 something years ago. I just think it's weird. That's all. I just think it's weird. But I wanted to drop that picture on him. And I just wanted to say, you know, they manipulated you. It's a manipulation. I mean, even if it's fake, even if the picture is fake, not the thing. I mean, even if people did die, but even if the picture was fake, there's still something else going on there. That doesn't just happen. It's not like there's somebody else with my name and my face out on the other side of the country that's, living a life that I didn't do, or maybe what is there somebody that's on the other side of the country that might have died, whenever they were like 7 or 8 that had my name, that had my face, and I was the one that survived. I mean, is there this constant twinning going on in the world? I mean, I get that people say that yes, everybody has their twin in the world. It's a statistic, probability. Even though I still haven't found mine, there's a lot of people that say, "Oh, you really look like a guy that I used to know." Okay, that's fine. Show me a picture, because I haven't seen it yet. I guess I just must be one of those lucky guys that just doesn't have one of those faces. I don't know. But these guys, they're like perfect carbon copies. Not only that, but the fact that 2 of the guys on there were twins. How does that happen? How many people have gone up into space? 60? Is that what it is? Out of the 60 people that went up there are 2 of those guys that just happen to be on the same ship, happen to have twins. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? Now you can take those 2 guys that had those twins, you can just throw them out. Because, okay, they had twins. Whatever, Okay, so maybe it's just their twins that are walking around that just happen to look exactly like them. Whatever, man. That's fine. But that doesn't explain the other people. It doesn't explain the guy. It doesn't explain the guy that owns a business up in Chicago that just happens to have the same exact name as one of the guys. Well, the one I looked up was Richard Scobie. He owns a CEO of a place up in Chicago. Looks just like him. Add 30 years to him, looks just like him. There's the teacher, the teacher. She works either Harvard or Yale. I don't remember which one it is. She's a professor. Kept her same name. or no, she used her middle name or something like that. I don't know what it is. Looks just like her. There's another guy that does work for Yale that he kept his same name, and that whole thing. I mean, it's like that. It's like they kept their name, they kept their face, but nobody ever bothered to really look at it. I have people gone and interviewed these people? Have they talked to these people? Have they asked them the statistical odds that this could happen, that you just happen to look exactly like this guy? Oh, by the way, you have the same name. It's mind-boggling. It makes you think. It really makes you think. It doesn't have to be real. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying there just happens to be two guys that have the same exact name. One of them just happened to have died in one of the worst tragedies in the United States history. The other guy just happens to be a CEO of a company in Chicago. I'm just saying there happens to be two people that look exactly alike, that have the same name. One of them happens to have died in the worst tragedy in American history, and the other one just happens to be a professor at Harvard or Yale or wherever the hell it was. I'm not saying it has to be anything. I'm just saying that two of the guys that died on one of America's worst tragedies happen to have twin brothers. Two guys, twins. Not the only set of twins that have ever been in. Not the only set of twins that have ever been in NASA either. They're the one guy. Oh, the craziest one is the one guy that spent all that time on the ISS, the International Space Station. His twin brother just happens to be the husband of the woman who was running for Senate or something or whatever. She happens to be the one that got shot in the head and survived. That's his twin brother. Just happens to be her husband. Just happens to be her husband. It could all be fake. I mean, I could just be I could just be spouting out nonsense that I read on the internet. I don't know. I don't know. We're spitballing here. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm not saying that way, and I'm not trying to ruin anybody's lives. If what was the phrase that I heard? truth Truth is unafraid of. What was it? The truth does not have to hide from scrutiny or something like that, or the truth does not fear scrutiny. Something similar to that. Basically, what they were saying is that the truth will hold up on its own. It doesn't have to worry about you know people trying to change it, trying to break it down. So I mean, you know, it's you figure it out, man. I don't know. It's crazy. It gets compounded when you look at the other problems that NASA NASA has has put out in the world. It gets compounded by that. NASA has its problems. Just really, I ain't saying the moon landing's fake. I'm not gonna say it. I can tell you I believe it's fake, but I'm not gonna say it is. I can't prove it. We're never gonna be able to prove it. We can look at the photos. Photos don't look real. They don't look right. You got guys that are pulling the pictures off of NASA's websites and changing the contrast, and you can see the square that's around the Earth. The videos that where they're supposedly faking the thing. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell. I know for a fact that NASA lost all that footage. They lost they lost all the telemetry data. That's a fact. That's a fact. They got their problems, man. I'm not saying it is what it is. You're gonna have to make that decision for yourself because I can't do it. But that's where it started. That's what this whole thing started out with today was that he was going on about this Challenger thing, and I was like, man, I can't. You can't just truth bomb people. I mean, you can put stuff out there and just say, look, take this as it is, you know, but you can't just. And I wanted to leave that. I wanted to leave that for him so bad because I was like, you just have to wake up, man. You have to wake up to what is going on here. And you have to understand that you have to understand that everything we know is a lie. And that's a hard pill to swallow. It really is. I made a comment the other day that a very hard red pill for me to swallow was that all of the counterculture of the 1960s was funded and supplied by the United States government. CIA was giving acid to Timothy Leary, which, interestingly enough, Timothy Leary was a disciple of Aleister Crowley. That okay, man? There's no Satan agenda here. Man, just don't know where to go with it. I don't know what the. Where do we go from here? What do we do? I've already said I pray to the Father every day. I pray to Father Yahweh, Yahuwah, Yahweh, Yah. I pray to him every day. And I ask him to protect us with the full armor of God, protect us with the full armor of his glory, and keep us from the evils of this world every day, and ask him for the wisdom and the understanding to be able to take that knowledge and spread it to others, open other people's eyes, help other people find their way to somewhere better, because it's just closing in on us. It's accelerating. They they either staged it or they didn't stage an attack out in the Gulf of what was it, Gulf of Oman, Oman. Omen. Hey, there you go. That sounds about right. Omen. There's two events that you should really look at. You should look at the Gulf of Tonkin, and you should look at the USS Liberty. Throw those in a blender. Throw those in a blender, fill up a cup, and then go sit down and watch the evening news. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Shit. I was thinking of that today too. I was thinking of a way to post that to make it just seem just right, because it's just exactly what's going on right now. That's exactly what's going on right now. It may or may not be real either. We don't know. Do you know? I don't know. I don't know if it's real or not. I know that I know that it can't be anything good. It can't be anything good. What's it going to do? Gas prices are going to spike. We already know that food prices are going to be spiking here soon. They've done their damnedest to flood out the Midwest, where all of our cattle is, all of the food production is. You know, You can talk about geoengineering all you want, whether you want to think that chemtrails are real or not, doesn't matter. Take a look up in the sky. If those are contrails, then fine. We need to stop the contrails because they are making bad weather. It's just all there is to it. Whatever the hell it is coming out of the back of those planes, it's screwing everything up. And we're all going to die because of it. Period. There's aluminum and barium and strontium in the atmosphere. Where'd it come from? People are measuring this stuff. People are measuring this stuff in the atmosphere. Where's it coming from? Is it coming from us? Then we need to figure out how to stop it. There's no carbon tax that's going to be able to stop that. All that's going to do is just make everybody poor, which is going to happen anyways because we're not going to be able to afford food and we're not going to be able to afford gas here soon. I just find it funny that I can sit here and I can say stuff like that that like it doesn't have to be real. And if it's not real, like if everything I'm talking about is still just crazy made up internet bullshit, if the stuff I'm talking about is still crazy made up internet bullshit, then there's still a way to stop it. There's still a way to figure it out and just say, okay, wait a minute, maybe that's something we need to look at. Same with the vaccines. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are or what you say. But the first time that any child had a problem with a vaccination that they received, they should have yanked that vaccination. That period, endpoint, done, set, match. That's the way it should have been. And I've seen enough videos of children, of babies. I've seen enough videos of children that had to go lay in a bed because they were having a seizure because they just had a vaccination. I've seen enough videos of a baby that sat there drooling while their eyes rolled up in the back of their head because they just had a vaccination. I've heard enough stories of people that said that they had a perfectly healthy baby. I have experienced this where I had friends that they said they had a perfectly healthy boy. And the only thing that changed that made him autistic, that made their child go into being an unresponsive autistic child that could barely function in the world was that they decided to go have a vaccination. How many of those stories do you have to hear before it stops? If only one kid had a problem with this, it should have been stopped. But no, we're mandating it now. It's becoming mandatory now. It's not no, we're going to stop it. No, we're not going to stop it. We're going to mandate it now. Everybody's got to get one. That sounds nuts. If one person had a problem with it, it should have been stopped and looked at. But no, now everybody's got to get one. And it's slowly moving across the country too. It started in New York and it's slowly spreading. I think it's in West Virginia right now. And it's heading our way. And I'm telling you what, I'm not going to take one. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to take one. If I have to forego my entire life and go run out into the woods and live in the woods where you can't catch me, I'm going to do it. Because I'm not taking it. Because you're already killing us with everything else, anyways. I'm not going to speed up the process for you assholes. It's just all there is to it. I cannot believe And it's the one thing that just blows my mind every time I think about it. I cannot believe that in my lifetime, this is the thing I got to worry about. You know, this is what I have to worry about. I was doing all right, man. I just got together with the girl of my dreams. We were making big plans. I just started working pretty good, you know. I started a YouTube thing, was playing video games, was having fun, and then truth bombed. And I know there's a reason for it, and I understand the reason for it, and I understand that that's the way this was supposed to go. This was God's plan. I'm not going to argue against that at all. I just it truthfully, it just blows my mind that this was something that is happening in my lifetime, and the fact that everything is falling apart as fast as it has been within my lifetime, and it's real, and I can't explain to you that it's I can't explain to you how I know it's real, other than the fact that I've I see the numbers. You know, I see the patterns. I see the I see the way things have gone. And that's something that I've tried to do with these talks. That's just me talking like this. It's why I exposed my face, because I said the only way I'm going to be able to just talk to people is just if I just look them right in the eye and just say, "Look, this is that, that's this is that." And it's what I see. It's something that I've seen for a long time. I just didn't figure out what it was. But the numbers add up. The tiny little manipulations add up slowly but surely. It's like everybody says, it's a big puzzle. You know, it's a big puzzle that we don't have the clues for. We just happen to have this little puzzle piece here, and we got this random ass puzzle piece here, and we're just slowly putting them together, and it's making this gigantic mosaic of things. It's not a complete puzzle. We don't even have the edges filled in yet. We just it's we're just blind putting this puzzle together, but there's something there. There's something to it. There's something there. It's not all just wackos like me getting on the internet just saying, "Oh my God, everything's going to go crazy," and yada yada yada. No, it's not that. It's something else to it. There's something more to it. I would not be something I've said several times over. I would not have been absolutely convicted to just drop my entire life and dedicate myself to reading the Bible and reading scripture and understanding what it means, had I not been scared off my ass by something. If that doesn't wake you up, I don't know what will. I got scared off my ass. There's something there. Me and Angie B, we were just talking about this the other day. She asked me what she wants, what I want her to do, what she has to do. You know, it was one of those really deep, you know, it was one of those really deep conversations where I was like, look, this is that. It's kind of, you know, and she asked, what do you want me to do? I said, Angie, if you haven't realized by now why my life is completely flipped upside down, if you could see even half of what I've seen, half of what I understand now, you would have dropped everything you have and you would have sunk your face into that Bible and you would have read for your dear life, because that's what's on trial right now. Because it's real. Because I can't express that enough. This is a real spiritual battle we're in. And I can't even believe that I'm saying that, but I am saying that. And I'm saying that because I believe it now. I see it. The connections are just too clear. And I was never this type of guy. I was never the type of guy to be this convicted about anything. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't. I wasn't the guy to be able to stop and say, hey, you ought to look at this because this is this and that's. I was the guy that said, you know what? As you can go do whatever the hell you're doing as long as you stay away from me. I don't care because I'm just trying to get through life. If I live, I live. If I die, I die. Whatever. That was me. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be happy in my own little corner of the world. I didn't care. I didn't care about anybody or anything. It got to the point where I just screw everybody else. They can just go off and they can do whatever the hell they want to. Just let me die and I'll be happy, whatever. But now it's been a complete 180. Now it's, dear Jesus, Lord in heaven, please wake up. For God's sakes, please wake up. For your sake, for your soul, wake up. Wake up, open your eyes and see this. I don't know how else to say it. Open your eyes. See it. Pick one thing. Pick one damn thing that you've ever heard a conspiracy theory about anything whatsoever. Pick one thing and look into it for more than 5 seconds. Just go look at it for more than 5 seconds. Do not listen to mainstream media. Do not listen to Google. Do not listen to anybody else. Just go look into it. Go find it. Go listen to what the conspiracy theorists are saying. Take both sides of the stories. The one thing I did more than anything else to be able to prove to myself that this stuff was right was that I listened to the debates. I listened to both sides. You have to listen to both sides. If you only listen to one side, then you're only taking one point of view and you don't deserve the information you're getting. You need to have two sides of it. And I listen to so many debates. I'm tired of debates. Because debates rarely solve anything. It's just two guys that are sitting there yelling at each other, and it's usually one guy that is just repeating the same old bullshit that we've heard over and over and over again. And it's the other guy that has all this really great information that this other guy can't form anything off of. And he's so stuck in his ways that it becomes an ad hominem attack. That's debates. Every single debate I've ever seen on anything. That's what it devolves into. And it's like, ugh. Go look at both sides of the coin. Go look at anything. Go listen to what I'm. Don't. I can't. I mean, seriously, go look at it. See, people always like to say, well, if you just go look into it, and it's not that easy. You can't just go Google, was 9/11 fake? You can't just go Google, is the earth flat? You're gonna get all this crap that's gonna come up and say, well, look at these idiots that think that. No. What you need to do is you need to take what you do know, which is going to be that, this is the way things are. This has been your life forever. And you already know most of this information anyways. You went through school. You went through the same indoctrination stuff that I went through. You're going to have all this stuff that says, this is the way you know it. This is the way it is. Whatever, yada, yada, yada. And then you need to go find those guys that say everything counter to that. You need to go find the guys that say that. And they're out there. They're still out there. There's a lot of places that say that they're censoring things. And YouTube is censoring things. Google is censoring things. But they're still out there. You can still find them if you really, really dig. If you dig into it, you will find it eventually. They can't hide everything. There is an esoteric rule to the world that says that the truth has to exist out there somewhere and that they can't just They can't just bold-faced lie to us about every single little thing. It's a rule. The only reason that we know the truth. And if you search for the truth, you will find it. It is the glory of God to hide the truth. It is the glory of kings to hunt it out. That's I've lived that scripture, and I don't think that's the exact scripture, but it's pretty much what it is. It's the glory of kings to hunt out the truth, and that's what I've done. That's what I've tried to do. I've tried it, and I've tried, and I've tried, and I've found so much. And thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord Yahweh. Yehovah, thank you for giving me that. I absolutely appreciate that. And it sets you free. People don't seem to understand what that means. It sets you free. You are not bound by the rules of this world anymore when it sets you free. When it opens your eyes to it, you don't have to be afraid of it. You can see the symbols, you can see the numbers, you can see it. The only thing you're afraid of is that it's going to come and you're not going to be able to save as many people as you can. I'm not scared of it. Something's going to come, something's going to happen. I have the power in me to be able to stop whatever's going to come for me because Lord Jesus came into my heart. I felt it. I understand that it's there, that it's a thing. We have the powers to move mountains with our minds. We do. That's what he told us. We just have to have faith in it. We have that power. But whatever's coming after that, I'm just going to feel bad that I haven't saved enough people. There's still some kind of blockage. Maybe I'm still holding on to this world too much. That I can't just go into a room and just openly say, the world is coming apart, believe in God. It's the only way, I can't be that guy. I understand that if you approach somebody with that mentality, you're not going to win anybody over. I understand that, and I think Lord willing, he understands that too. That you can't do it that way. So he gave me a different path. He gave me this path. I don't know if this path is working or not. People are watching these things. And if you're watching these and if you're understanding it, if you're getting it, then hey, awesome, man. That's great. If he's helping me through my social media, through the Facebook and the Twitter, that I try to post something to get somebody to recognize it, if that's working, great. If he's helping me by slowly opening other people's eyes, there was a coworker I had at work that I can't tell what she's doing. she's either hitting on me or she's just trying to be a friend. I don't know. It's weird, and I don't know. It's weird, but she's been complimenting my shirts. There was a shirt that I had on the other day that she said reminded her of her old man who is dead now. And she asked me one day as I was leaving lunch what was new. And my new thing now, which I'm gonna do forever. Somebody asked me what's new, I'm gonna tell her I'm gonna tell them that it's nothing new under the sun. And she stopped me. She said, that's my favorite quote. And I said, well, there was something I was talking about the other day where I said there's literally nothing new under the sun. I said the sun worship, if you look at it as sun worship, because everything we do has some connection to sun worship. There's literally nothing new under sun worship, under the sun. And she said, really? My husband was really into that kind of stuff, the Egyptian things, Egyptian sun worship Ra. I don't know if that means that. I hope that doesn't mean that her old man was like worshiping Ra. And I think it means that he was trying to wake her up somehow. I think it's what it means. But she uh she was going on about it. I just lost my light. Let's see if I can get my light back. There we go. I got my light back. But she was going on about it. You know, they were. She was just. She was having some kind of something for him, and they were doing a big, you know, sun worship guy. And I'm like, I don't know if that's what it is. We never finished that conversation. I had to go back up to work. But I mean, God willing, if he's slowly using me to churn her, I mean, if she's the soul that I'm supposed to save, then hey, she's the soul I'm supposed to save. It is what it is. I've already talked to Angie B about this. I said if Angie's supposed to be the one I'm supposed to save, if my mother's supposed to be the one I'm supposed to save, if my father is the one I'm supposed to be is the one I'm supposed to save, then please show me that that's the way I'm supposed to go. Because I still don't know. I am not perfect, and I keep sliding. I keep having my problems. And I talk to him about this every day. I still have this lustful eye, and I still have issues. I still have issues, and we're still working on them. I don't know if I deserve my place in heaven or not. I hope I do, but I am more than willing to earn it however I can. And if I'm only supposed to save one person, hey, if I'm only supposed to save you, whoever's watching this, if I'm supposed to save you, I hope it works. That's all I can say. And the only way I know how to do that is to not hit people upside the head with it. It's a slow burn. I had a slow burn, man. It took me 6-7 years to get to this point. It was a slow burn. It was a slow burn, and I asked for it all at once, and it crushed me. And I think that's what happens. Is it's supposed to knock you down, just like it did Angie. It knocked her down. Once you lose everything, you're free to do anything. That's a direct Fight Club quote, and I will stick to that quote for the rest of my life because I think it's 100% true. Once you've lost everything, you're free to do anything, and that is what it is. I have to stop. It is getting on to 12:30. We're waking up early in the morning. Thank you guys very much for watching this. I've been Nicodemus Kane. Like, comment, subscribe, or don't. Somebody's subscribing. I've been seeing that count. It goes up every now and then. I try not to look too much anymore because, you know, that fame and fortune nonsense, it doesn't really matter to me anymore. It really doesn't. The video game playthroughs that I do, it's just for fun at this point. And if I can interject some wake up juice into that here and there, then I will do that. Here's just if I happen to see something, I'll plug it in. But that is not meant to pull people into these videos. It's not. Those are a completely separate thing. If you came here to watch video game nonsense and you happen to stumble onto this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. These are for the people that need to have it. That's all I can say. They're for the people I need to have. I should start with that. I should really start the video with that instead of just, coming into it. These are for the people that need to hear it. Not everybody needs to hear this. Not everybody's going to want to hear it, but not everybody needs to hear it. Some people aren't ready to hear it. If you're not ready to hear it, you're not ready to hear it. I hope that that God will open your ears and let you hear it before it's too late. Because it's going to be too late for all of us soon. We're not going to be able to. We're not going to be able to push this much longer. Really, we have to. We have to start buckling down. There has to be a time where we got to start buckling down on this, and we have to make the big decisions to make this start going. So, thank you guys for watching. I got the hiccups. We went to Applebee's, so I got that Bourbon Street steak. um, which is interesting. I know I keep going off on tangents. It's interesting because half of the menu at Applebee's I can't eat anymore because it's either got shrimp or bacon or pork or it's got something in it that I can't eat. It's like, it's like the Bourbon Street chicken and shrimp. I used to love that. Shrimp, can't eat it. Can't do it. You don't even miss. You really don't miss it. I'm just saying, But there was what was the one we were looking at, the chicken fajitas, the new chicken. There's some new loaded chicken fajita, which seemed really really nice. But then it was like it has sprinkled bacon on the top of it, and I'm like, and I know I could order it without the bacon, but it's just like, you know, what if they accidentally mix it up in there and then, because I'm still not convinced we're supposed to eat pork. I'm still not convinced of that. I've already said if anybody can prove me wrong, please prove me wrong. Give me passages in the Bible that tells us that we can, absolutely definitively. But until then it's a choice. And it's a choice that I've lived with and I'm okay with it. I'm not you don't even miss it. That cheese pizza's cool. It's not bad at all. It really isn't. I don't I haven't been missing it. Bacon and eggs? I haven't been missing it. You smell it. It smells amazing, but I just hope that I don't. I hope that I don't get busted because I'm letting Angie do it. Because I can't stop her from doing it. Unless I can prove to her what it is, and I still can't prove it to myself yet. So I've already talked to her about it. I already said I just don't think that we're supposed to do it. I don't think the law is completely obliterated. It's either Peter or Paul. I think went into a went into a temple and made a sacrifice. If one of them made a sacrifice in a temple, then the law is still on, and we got serious problems. But I don't know. I haven't sat down and looked through that part of the book. I only heard that in passing on another video, and I was like, "Oh shit, that might be a thing." I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I gotta go. Until next time, I wish you all well in all your future endeavors, and I hope that the world lasts for you. God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Take care. Take care. Be safe. Read your Bible. Read it. Read it. It's an interesting book. It really is. It really, truly is an interesting book. Sit down, read it, and then pray on it. Pray every day. Ask him for wisdom. Don't ask him for anything else. Healing. If you need to ask for healing for somebody, pray for my mother. My mother is having to go back into surgery. She's losing another finger. It's a long, complicated story. If you hear this, pray for my mother. She needs it. Pray for my grandmother. We're finding out she has dementia or something. She had a stroke and stroke about a year ago, and her mentality is not going very well. The doctors just told her she can't drive anymore. So she's not taking that too well, and we have a bad feeling that she might decide to go against that. So pray for her. Pray for both of those guys if you can. Thank you very much again. I shall see you guys later.